So we've seen that from a given data frame we can extract multiple columns, and in this video I would just like to show you how you can not only extract these columns, but you can also retrieve multiple rows at the same time. So using this statement, we can extract column number 2, column number 3, and column number 4 from the data frame. Now this is the output of the data frame, and if we, let's say, we want to retrieve row 2 and row 3 from this data frame, and in terms of column numbers we are still interested in columns 2, 3, and 4. So we want to extract row number 2 and 3, but we want to ignore the first column. We are just interested in the second, third, and fourth row. So we can just use the same syntax, but row 2 to 4 highlights the column numbers, and if I just make a small change, so I use a comma, and then what I can do is that I can specify the row numbers in which I'm interested. So I'm interested in row 2 to row 3. So inside the square brackets, before comma, you can specify the range of row numbers in which you are interested, and after comma you can specify the column numbers in which you are interested. And if I select this statement and run this, in fact, let me just clear the console, and let me just execute the statement again, and we can see now, in fact let me clear this again. Let me execute this line of code first, and then let me execute the actual. So this was the original data frame with all the rows and columns, and this is the chunk of information which we extracted, and we can see that it has completely ignored the first column, because we are only interested in columns 2 to 4, and it has also ignored the first row and the fourth row because we are only interested in row 2 and row 3, and it has basically retrieved this chunk of code. So London, Tokyo, 1500, 2000 as the salaries, and 150, 200 as the tax. So this is how you can retrieve not only column numbers but also row numbers. Okay, so we can also use conditional expressions, logical expressions, if we want to extract a specific set of rows. So we can use these range to extract rows, but we can also use some logical expressions. So we can use something like this: employees, and then I can say that I'm only interested in the rows which have salaries greater than 1500. So I'm only interested in going to be interested in these two rows. So I can specify something like employee dot salaries greater than 1500. So I'm only interested in these rows, and let's say, for the sake of argument, I'm still interested in these columns 2 to 4. And if I do this, let me clear the console, and if I run the statement, so now I can see, in fact, let me execute the whole data frame. So let me execute so that we can compare it with the whole data frame. This is the whole data frame, and now I can see that it has only retrieved the row numbers, the rows which have salaries greater than 1500. So the bottom two rows, Tokyo, New York, 2000, 2500, 200, and 250, and you can see that our statement has retrieved the desired output. So you can use these logical expressions. You can also do something like C, and then you can say I'm only interested in the first row and second row, and I would like to ignore the third and fourth row. So if I do this, I can see that Shanghai and London, so these are the first two rows from the data frame. Let me just execute this again, just to show you that we can use this vector of logical values as well. Now what will happen if I don't specify any of these column ranges? So let me just ignore this completely and show you what happens if I do that. What I'll see that it would retrieve all the columns, only the first two rows, but all the columns, because we haven't specified anything in the columns. What else can we do? Okay, if I do something like this, so just specify 1, that would help me retrieve only the first row. So you can see that it has only retrieved the first row. But if you want to retrieve multiple columns, then you can use something like this. So this would help me retrieve multiple columns. I can say true for the fourth statement, and it would let me retrieve the first and the fourth statement. And so that is pretty much it. I can also show you how you can retrieve a specific element, a single cell from a data frame, but that I can cover that in the next video. So I'll just finish off this video and I'll show you how you can get a single element from, or a specific cell value from a data frame.